watching. I'm working more on my stock market tool today, and specifically I'm trying to fix this walk forward analysis issue that I have. So let me explain real quick before I get to that what my goals are. So my first goal is to beat the S&P 500 by a significant margin and make money in all regimes. So if the S&P is going down, I want to still be making a nice little percentage return. If the S&P is going up, I want to be outperforming the S&P by a significant margin, at least 2 to 3 times. And secondly, I'm writing all of this in Python code, so I'm generalizing it to make a tool that anyone can use. Currently, you can implement a model and test it robustly in under 50 lines of code. So I have a stock universe, or I have data. I want to filter out the data, don't want to use all the data. You want to isolate, drop out things like penny stocks, low volume stocks, NASDAQ test tickers, etc. These will make the model worse or artificially inflate its performance. Once you have a good universe, I want to make a returns model, so predicting either returns for the next 5 days, 10 days, returns relative to the market, probability of a positive return, things like that. Once I have a good model for that, I'm making a portfolio level model, which is going to decide how to allocate money based on the output of the returns model. So this is my first go of this. I started at the beginning of the year. This is where I was in January. This was all right. You see, some of these look really good, but they're not robust is the problem. And so I had to go through and iterate all sorts of different targets and features that I wanted. So I added all of these features and targets. This is all on price data, but since I've added fundamental data, this is what the outline of the code base looks like now. So it was kind of crappy and not very flexible. Now it's super flexible, and every time I want to add a new feature, say, or a new filter for the universe, I just have to write a few lines of code to make the class. Briefly, I'll go over the development of the models. So this is the first really good model I got. It turns out there were some problems with this. The main problem is that it only works on this specific data split. You can see here when I do the walk forward on this model that it performs a lot worse over time, so the performance is falling off. Second, this is including all sorts of stocks that I don't want to actually include. So for instance, test tickers were included in this universe. I needed to filter them out, and that means this performance was artificially inflated. So I did that. I trimmed the universe down from a huge universe, including all sorts of things that I don't want to actually include. Trimmed it down to something that's useful, and I got these results. So this is on one data split. But you can see it's performing really well. So this is using I have data going back to 2011, so it's training on about 2011 to 2018 or so, validating on about 2018 to 2021 or 2020, and then testing on the rest of the data. And so you see when I do that, I get really good performance. And so I did a walk forward with this, and there are two obvious problems. One, information coefficients going negative. So this isn't something you can really implement because certain years, like here 2 years in a row, the predictive power is negative. You'd do better going against the model than you would on a coin flip. And second of all, this isn't completing. It ends in 2020. So now when I do the same universe and do the walk forward analysis on the same universe, but I don't calculate. This is with some, so these good results were when I added all features that I had before in the good model, and then added in new features for mean reversion and volatility features that are normalized to the sector instead of the market. This is performing a lot better, but and when I did the walk forward on just all features, it was performing fine. So I need to go through and figure out why am I dropping out data. I determined that when I get the data set with the the sector neutralization, it's dropping some out. So I need to troubleshoot why is that happening. So that's what I'm going to be working on this morning. Hey, Furpo, how are you? Good morning. Happy April. Happy April Fool's Day. Yeah, so I was looking at this yesterday when I ended the stream. Logical bug in your feature generation loop that is corrupting your feature list and a high probability of a memory crash. Okay, so I fixed that. Neutralization equals market. Create ADX market and ADX regime. So what is this? Model. Where do I pull the universe data? Universe path, self.data. Okay, so let's look at self.data. So test df is nothing. Rather than this, it could be an error in my split. So let's do model.data where model.data.date is greater than 2021-01-01. So there's no data for 2021. All right, so let's import pandas and let's look at the universe data. /data/universes/7.feather. Now let's do df where df.date is greater than 2021-01-01. So we do have it here, but it's dropping out. Now, let me run model 18. Let me just add one feature to the model. So we can go to Model Explorer. And let's just get this guy. Well, that's not, yeah. The input type mismatch. Notices that ADX explicitly specifies input type equals raw. Okay, so what if we censor out all of these features and just put in things that are normalized to the sector? So model 18 walk forward. We'll censor out this line. Censor out this line. I did this last night, but I forgot what happened. So let's make a slide. Oh, I already have a slide for this. So here's what the walk forward looks like. Let's put in so model 18 walk forward fails after 2020. Below data is present up through end of 2025 in universe. And let's put another one. So let's put in this guy. Right. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Matt.
I'm doing a stream, by the way.
I figured you were.
Just so you know. After getting features for model 18 walk forward, no data is present after 10/25/2019. Okay, so the next question is, if we just do model 18, where is their data present? So model 18, after we split data, let's put in the debugger so we can look at it. And then let's turn on test model 18, turn off the walk forward. Okay. So now it'll compute all features, but it's splitting data in a different way. So let's go look at model, scripts, clean analysis. Let's go to the model class. So generate targets and features. Split data by dates. Okay, so let's see how it performs. So the question is, this is using a different data splitting. So is it the case that the data splitting is just wrong? Okay, I need some music. This is taking a long time to compute, so now let's look more at the universe. So let's do the same thing, but look for after 2020, November 1st. So let's add another condition where it's larger than 2020 and smaller and df dot account symbol is equal to Apple. So Apple drops out. What about Tesla? Tesla we have. Let's add another condition. df.date is less than 2021-02-01. From matplotlib, import by plot as plt. So let's get that guy and then do .date .plot plt .show. So we have data in here for Tesla. Wait a second. Why isn't this, what did I do? Model Explorer. So we have Model 18 on. Did I save this? Yeah. Gotta do what I gotta do. Oh, gosh. Put it in the wrong one. Live in Texas like I'm George Strait. Or they go to Georgia State where tuition is handled by some random nigga that live in Atlanta. So the universe works. So what if we do one sector normalization? What have I learned since getting richer? Can make for better pictures. Interviews are like confessions. Get the fuck up out my dressing from confusing me with questions like. Let's do add a Boolean. We'll say test for today. So, oh yeah, 2026 0401. Turn that on. And we'll say test 2026 0401 is tests a single sector neutralized feature and looks at resulting data. So if, okay. Good, that's on. So we'll say if test is equal to true, let's go do the test. So and I say, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Neutralization is equal to sector. So let's get the model. Then we'll say model dot add features ADX. Then we'll say model, we need the target. So time period, yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. So windows are 520, 60, 200. Do you have access to clean analysis.py and feature engine.py? Okay, so now let's do model dot data. Model.data.max. You should know I bleed blue, but I ain't a crypto. Model.data where model.data, we'll do two conditions, 1 and 2. Model.data.date is greater than 2020. And model.data.date okay, I think the issue is that I am calculating the results of the features inside the model from the universe data frame, but some tickers are being dropped out and added to the universe. If a ticker has been added to the universe which wasn't present in the previous month, if a ticker has been added to the universe which wasn't present in the previous month, the model will not be able to calculate the 200-day moving average, for instance. This is causing the data to be cut out in the walk forward. Instead, I need to calculate the features. So what if I add min history days as a requirement? Universe Explorer. Eight, same as universe 7, but requires 252, so 1 year, days of history. I'll say 200 days of history. Carefree living, but I'm not Sean nor Martin Louis. So min history days, make that 200, and save it to 8.feather. This is causing the data to be cut out in the walk forward analysis. Instead, I need to calculate the features using data slash all OHLCV dot feather so that there is a sufficient history. Assess this thesis. Use first reason from first principles. I'm pretty good, Furpo. I'm stuck though on this thing. I wish it was working. Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty good. So nothing happened. Oh, because this should be get universe 8. Only thing that calmed me down, pussy and some Cali tree. So obviously 2011 it's gonna fail. (2025) May 1st. So it's working. It has been a crazy market. We got a little rebound. I was up almost 7%. Well, I'm basically half cash, half oil. It's all going to be tested today when Trump gives his speech. Trump has a speech at, I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, so, if we withdraw, then my oil play will be wrong. I'll have to get out. If we stay in, it will be a big surprise. Oil will go way up overnight. So, we'll see what happens. Yeah, so I need to make this work better. Yeah, so we'll see tonight what happens. It'll be like, if the US doesn't pull out tonight, this will be like the fifth time Trump's talked about peace and it hasn't happened. Um, if we don't pull out. Um, and that's going to be huge for oil. It's going to make oil go way up. The thesis will be proven correct. That we're basically in a quagmire and we're in another forever war. Um, Yeah, well, but then the thing is, the key thing is that we're not going to be destroying any more oil infrastructure in Iran, and two, it basically puts a timeline on the war because Iran could keep bombing oil structure in the Gulf and so destroying oil basically, and keep the Strait of Hormuz closed, which would keep oil, suppress the demand of oil or suppress the supply of oil, um, and keep prices high for some time. But they basically, if this goes on for a month and nobody's attacking Iran and they're keeping the Strait of Hormuz closed and bombing oil facilities, the world's going to get together and make them stop one way or another. China, Russia, they're going to say, you got to stop this crap, open it up, stop bombing oil facilities. So the pressure will stop being on the United States to stop, and it will start being on Iran to stop. And so basically, I don't see any way that continues for a month. If the U.S. pulls out, Iran's going to have to capitulate in some sense and open up the strait and stop bombing oil facilities. And then the flow of oil will continue. It's going to be disrupted. It's not going to go back to the price it was, before the war, but it's definitely going to fall way down from the current price. So, um, but also, I don't see, if Trump pulls out, it's going to be viewed as a huge loss. There's no way really he can spin it as a win. Uh, but it's Trump. He might just do that anyway. I hope that would be the best for the U.S. So maybe I shouldn't position my portfolio so that it's depending on the worst outcome for the U.S. That the worst outcome happens for the United States. But I don't know. Um, Saving all features to a dataset won't work. I'm varying the time period when I make feature request, so I need the features to be calculated at the runtime of the model. Reassess. Skip. Don't want to evaluate your responses for you. So I'm confused on universe mask. Is universe path... So I am currently passing the universe into feature engine to calculate the features. But for stocks which have been dropped out of the universe and re-added, it is calculating incorrect rolling features. Okay, now we could say here, consider the case that Apple has been dropped out of the universe for 2 months, then re-added. 60-day rolling features will only be calculated on the dates in which Apple is present in the universe, excluding the 2 months it has been removed. Fix. I didn't change the if statement. If statement where? Oh, you're probably talking about the universe. You're probably behind. And it's where the universe was being defined. I'm assuming. Let me know if I'm wrong. So the fix is that calculate features for the universe using all OHLCV. Okay, that's going to be kind of a long logical thing. What code block? Oh, this? I'm confused, and I gotta get to work, and this is gonna be a long thing to do, so I'm gonna hold off on this until tonight's stream, but this will be my project for tonight. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and check out the GitHub. Adios. Have a good rest of your day. I'm confused, and I gotta get to